Yo, yo.
What's going on, brother? Can you hear me?
Um, Wait a second. Yeah, now I should hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah, now it's perfect. Now it's perfect.
Cool, man. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome, brother.
How
How
you
you doing, by
doing?
the way?
Really bad. Hit the car at the gym,
Uh,
but yeah.
I didn't I saw like it. I saw like an actual message, but I didn't check it. Oh, okay. Oh shit. Wait, did you get hit?
No, I hit someone.
Oh, damn. Were you on your phone?
No, I was parking and I saw
Uh-huh.
I don't have space to park here, so I was going backwards, and
Oh,
someone was
damn.
going straight. So it's kind of like not my fault, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. I will actually be
Yeah,
checking
man.
like recordings from the cameras to see
Like
if
what happened?
like yeah if
Yeah.
it is his fault actually.
Got it, got it. Okay, cool. Tell me, I guess from that last call, tell me a little bit more of, I guess, how your calls are going, and then maybe like, based on the call that I see, what you kind of wanna work on, or just in general, like, because it'd be kind of good to kind of give some insight.
Okay. So like from the call that I did in English or the calls that I'm making today, right now.
Yeah, how about this one right here? Just so and then maybe I can translate some of this to maybe some of the stuff that you could work on
Okay,
in another language. Yeah.
gotcha.
So yeah, I guess like tell me, like what do you feel like you need work on, I guess?
hmm So basically the calls that I have right now, um, I thought that I'm really doing great job at making sure that it is not about them trusting the process. And I'm
Mm,
always like asking at the end when I end with everything, like how they feel like in the scale of 1 to 10, how it will work for them, and if they believe that it actually would work for them. And I get people like saying, yeah, 10 to 10. And later on, I just uh, got an objection. It was probably yesterday. That man, that is the price. I willing to fit about it. Yeah. So I had a little like, what do you exactly need to think about it? And I tried to find the real objection, and I find
mhm,
it. And the problem was in the process actually. So
mm,
that was kind of strange because I thought that I have did a good job in describing the process and showing them the value and making them feel like they are 100% in. Um, but later on, what they said me also was like I also need to think about other solution of getting similar outcome. So
mhm,
that was also a sign that they are not 100% above into the solution.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the cool thing is that like a lot of times we can do as much as we can in the sales process, which we can make sense of it. Um, but it would be interesting to see what you end up doing with your middle funnel to kind of keep because sometimes like it's nice to see like what they to minimize that through middle funnel, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you only can do so much, right? Like at the set, which but it is it's always good to have like data, of like what and meaning like what are they saying? So then you take that information and you throw that, like I know Neil will probably say like throw that into YouTube, throw that into like more Instagram content.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
they kind of so
I'm
yeah,
basically
yeah.
doing that. So I have like a sales like I have a spreadsheet and I always like put the objections here and then I make a content about around these objections. And I
Nice.
always my sales process I teach my email setter to also make sure that the people are pre-sold before the call and to warm them enough before it. So what I
Mhm.
was doing when I found like what they have been using in the past, I was sending them my real handling the belief, switching their belief system, and then showing like our approach to this and giving value. So causing the boost effect in the short form, and then in the long form, I have sent them over the VSL.
Nice.
And that's how things started to work. Basically, the calls that I had right now was the calls that people have booked straight away when I launched the new funnel, and that was the people from Poland, from the Polish funnel, because I have now two funnels that I'm testing, and they haven't see the VSL in full. So that might be the reason why they are not 100% both into the process. I will see that tomorrow and on Friday also, because in that days I have calls with the people that I did a good job at before the call.
Yeah, and what you can do with that process is for people who are just being instantly booked through the funnel, you can take that almost like as an appointment setting call, like a 15-minute qualifying call, because they're so fresh. And you can also have that first touch. You can do two things. You can have that first touch as a 15-minute call, and then you can say, hey, but so you understand their finances good, that they're good in pain, which is what's needed for a call, and also finances.
Mhm.
And that's a whole nother thing. It's like a slight open wallet, like I call it. And then you can get them a requirement to watch like a specific amount of the specific videos. In that video, that you would want them at the end to like have maybe some sort of like they have to DM you some sort of homework, so they're really qualified, and then like that will make sure that you have like the best quality
Okay.
leads. Or you could get the funnel coming in, and then you have that set of videos that in order to show up to the call, they have to watch these videos and DM you something. That's what
Okay.
Cole Gordon does at a really high level when he does kind of like this cold funnel. um and I'm part of his like boardroom and all that stuff, of basically like if he's running straight Facebook ads, because he's like a big Facebook ads guy, he makes sure that they have a series of homeworks to do for them to qualify for the call.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that's just like a side idea.
Like
Just to it's Yeah.
yeah, what I did for the calls after talking with Neil is I have like in my pre-call sequence, like on emails and on the phone from Calendly, I have included there my long forms and social proof, more VSLs, more like things.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
that doesn't necessarily like I would say 10% of people watch it, like
Yeah, yeah.
something like that. But what I did right now is I also have sent them the few of the best videos that I have on YouTube on Instagram for them and to watch before the call, and also on email, so that might also increase that. But as you said, that might be a good option too to do that.
Yeah,
And
just add a little homework. Add them at Maybe you can edit the video and just say, like, also, so if you've been watching this video, the only way to show up to the call is by making sure that you DM me, I don't know, like you DM me like done on my Instagram, so I know that you're gonna be ready for the call. If you don't DM me done, then we won't have the call, because we have lots of calls per day. We just want to make sure we have people who are ready to
mhm.
go, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Um,
so what Neil suggested me to do is to have one question in the calendar form. So a question like,
yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah,
yeah, how many pieces of content did you consume before the call? And if the
yeah.
answer is zero or like only one, then basically I will reach out to them and say like, hey, you need to watch this, this, and this to be on the call. So that might be a good solution
Yeah,
for that.
because you have such an open market, so you just want to qualify them a little bit more. But let's kind of dive deep a little bit
Yeah,
here
yeah.
and kind of see. Okay, nice. Oh, okay, you get a good pain process here. Let's see.
Why do
I'm
you
gonna
think is the
just
process?
Well, it's a good amount of time. It's good. I like
Ah,
that. I like that you go through a good call. I want to see, how far you're battling at the end, or how long you get into pain.
mhm,
Typically, when I break up call objections, what I do is I go through discovery, the pitch. I won't go through the pitch because that's yours, and I
mhm.
don't think I need to touch it right now. And then like objection handling. So kind of just
Okay,
see.
gotcha.
Sherban,
Sherbal. Okay.
that's
Okay.
it.
Where are you from?
Romania.
Romania. Cool.
Where in Poland are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Poland. Do you know Poznań?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like 30 minutes from Poznań. and
I
like
think
I'm searching for an apartment in Poznan right now, so
I think like the
Download it
video
well.
Google
soon.
will
Nice,
like
nice. You moving by yourself?
Yeah,
Are you still at your parents' house at the moment?
yeah, currently yes.
Okay.
Start young, eh?
Yeah,
Young
just
hustlers.
like finished school like 2 months ago and going on my own right now.
Well, like high school or
Yeah, high school.
cool. You're gonna go to uni as well or not?
No, I'm not going to university. Like I'm just going to continue what I have been doing.
Don't need that, yeah.
Yeah. How
Fair
about
enough.
you?
I went to uni, but I went to uni like 5-6 years ago. I'm all
And the coaching business.
yes. Well,
Yeah, let me go through here. It's gonna be easier because I downloaded it.
Nice. Okay, so the coaching that we have, it is the dating coach stuff, or
no.
okay,
It's marketing coaching. Essentially, coaching coaches to build their funnels and them their.
I feel like, do you get this a lot in the beginning that like, I mean, I hear from this call that like he kind of has like an authority over you because he's like older and he's
yeah.
kind of like, oh yeah, it's a young kid. Do you kind of get that a lot or?
Oh my God. So it's kind of different situations. Sometimes it is like, oh man, like I really appreciate that you have the grind and that you are doing such a good job at that age. And sometimes I just get like people being like, oh, this guy isn't actually what he have to say and like what the fuck he's doing, like he's that kind of old.
Yeah. Sometimes what I would say is just kind of keep it short. I would just kind of, I wouldn't like lie, but I would just kind of like just keep it short and just be like, yeah, man, I've been doing my thing for a couple years, and then just ask them, be like, so like on this call, like what we're gonna do, blah blah blah, kind of like just like
Mhm.
move past that because like that just kind of gives like them more power in their head to not trust based on their
Yeah.
own reasoning. So just like if they're kind of asking questions, I always just trying to like just try to guide it away. You know, they're like, you know, they end up just trying to like I have an e-commerce business that they're like, do you have an e-commerce business? Like, you know, as a closer. And like they, you know, if you like if you're super honest, you're like, no, I just did this, so they're gonna be like, I'm not gonna trust this person, even though this e-commerce business is like badass. So I would just keep
Yeah.
it short and just go straight to like you know, having your authority to ask questions. But let's kind of see.
Offers and their ads and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
I'm trying to keep it to coaching rather than do it for you. I
Okay,
would
so
prefer to do it for you for like the very high ticket where there's like a performance incentive as well.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
yeah. And for the coaching, so you're coaching coaches.
Kind of, yeah. Coaching, marketing and business coaching basically.
And like, do you only do consulting with them, or you have a course and other stuff in it?
Do I only do what? Sorry.
Consulting, like consulting calls with them.
Yeah, basically. But like, if they get to a point where they run ads, I can run their ads and charge them a performance sort of commission.
Okay. And what is your price point for this coaching offer?
The coaching offer starts around 500, 5 to 1,000. So I'm still like flexing it. I'm still trying to find market fit at scale. And then the do it with you is 2.5 plus 5% of commission.
Okay, and how many clients do you have right now for the Down With You solution?
I've got four big clients, but they're all over the place. They're not just in this coaching program. Like I'm doing Google Ads for one, I'm doing LinkedIn Ads for another one. It's definitely not systemized yet.
Okay, got you. And do you have a like business partner, or you are doing everything by yourself?
At the moment, by myself. I am definitely keen to find a partner though. Why are you asking that?
Yeah, I just like to find out if you're doing everything by yourself, or do you have like any people inside? So like you don't have any like person that is helping you with the fulfillment.
I have a couple of strategic partners, but not equal day to day, if that makes sense.
Okay. So basically, what you have tried in the past to get clients?
Everything: ads, DM, webinars, VSLs, DM outreach. I'm still trying. They all work. But your thing is pretty nifty. I think it's quite interesting. Definitely keen to hear a bit more about like the stats on that.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm the first person that you have heard that in Mythology, or have you seen that?
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to run at the top of funnel and then retargeting in middle and maybe a bit more retargeting with.
So a lot of times, like when they talk and they say something that shouldn't, so like think about it. In the discovery process, you're looking for them to say, I need help, this isn't working. Right? That's what you should be searching for. And you ask questions and different questions for them to reveal that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So if it's not going towards that, then you can challenge them a little bit.
In the past to get clients?
Everything. Ads, DM, webinars, VSLs, DM outreach. I'm still trying. They all work.
Okay. If again, that's not the right answer, right? Or it's like how many clients would you want? Oh, I have more than enough clients, right? So an easy way to challenge them with this is say something like, okay, well, if everything works, then like why do you feel like you're trying you know you are maybe looking for something else, right? Or like if everything works, why don't you just continue doing that, right? Because B2B is very logical. B2C is very like emotional. B2B is very like it's numbers. You know, it's like are you getting the amount of money? Is your program, is your mechanism working, your system working? And this guy kind of has like a very like authoritative like I have big balls and like you're younger than me and I know what I'm doing, blah 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 blah. And so all we're trying to do is just with B2B, I always say the pain is in their numbers. So if he says something like this, that's not what you want to be not what you want to be searching for, you can challenge him a little bit in a nice way. You know, you're a nice guy, so you're not gonna say anything like in a mean way, to be honest. But
your thing is pretty nifty.
right,
I think it's quite interesting. Definitely keen to hear a bit more about like the stuff.
right, and the real reason here is because his shit isn't working. That's why it's
Yeah.
nifty, right? But he hasn't said that yet, so it'll be interesting to see.
Okay. And I'm the first person that you have heard that in mythology, or have you seen that? In
Well, I
flows?
mean, there's all kinds of ways to run at the top of funnel and then retargeting in middle and maybe a bit more retargeting with email marketing and stuff. But to actually run ads into the profile to get followers on that and then nurture them in the platform, I'm starting to see more and more. I'm starting to see more and more people do this kind of thing right now. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. It really comes down to the economics, the unit economics. What's the kind of rates, the CPMs, that kind of stuff.
Okay, got you.
Where that Sergio was doing, I'll put it this way.
Okay, I got you. And with this current offer that you have, would you like to get more people into the low ticket stuff or into the high ticket offer?
I think the high ticket. The plan is to start qualifying that higher ticket, yeah, for sure.
And like in 3-6 months from now, how many clients would like to have that offer?
Always a tricky one, mate. 5 new clients by the end of September.
Okay,
2.5
clients. Okay. And how would that affect your life personally if you can hit those 5 clients in September?
It would be rainbows and unicorns, mate.
Okay. And do you plan on moving from your place, or are you staying here?
No. Why?
I'm just like curious.
Are you in the real estate business as well? Have you got house to summit?
No, but I have been to the real estate industry. I have been cold calling like 3 years ago. That's how I started. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's a funny story. Okay. So from what I'm hearing, really good where you are, and the goals are totally achievable. So do you mind if I just share my screen then show the entire process and how we do things?
Yeah, go for it. I watched the video on YouTube, by the way.
And which one?
I think you linked it to me in the chat.
Yeah, so before you're presenting this, I'll go through like the objection handling. You want to ask questions in the way where he says, I'm not making enough, I need help, and I want your help, right? Like you want that to come out of their mouth verbally, right? And I don't see like there's enough pain there, right? And because of that, there's no pull, there's no power, I say ammo, there's no ammo, right? And with B2B, it's always just being logical. Okay, how much are you making right now? How much would you want to be making? Okay, why aren't you making this? And then so on and so forth. It's kind of like a doctor just diagnosing, like, or a personal trainer, like, if you want to lose 10 kgs, why aren't you there? What are you doing that's wrong? You know, you want to just separate that gap. Any questions on that? But I think you're on mute, by the way.
Yeah, that was the problem. Yeah, so when you said like B2B, like B2C is more like emotional, so I ask this question quite often, like how it will affect your life personally. Like, is this a good question to even ask on B2B sales, or?
You can ask that question maybe like I would ask that to maybe go a little bit deeper after you get their numbers first, right? So like let me and I would even rephrase that into saying something Like, and how's that kind of feel if you're X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z? So like, let me just role play with you. So you pretend to be a business owner, and
Yeah.
then I'll just ask you a couple questions to get your pain, right? And I
Okay.
want you to resist me, kind of like this guy did.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
It will be
Cool,
hard,
man.
but okay.
So, cool, man. So, from what it seems like from the form, you own a marketing agency. Is that correct?
Yeah, kind of, and other stuff too.
Okay. Can I a little bit get more clarity of the other things that you do?
Yeah, so besides the marketing agency, I work as appointment setter in one agency, and I also like I'm personal trainer.
Okay. Nice. Okay. And is the agency something that you want to do full time?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Is it a probably, or is it like more of like a yes or no?
Yeah, so it will it if it will give me like good income, then for sure.
Okay, got it. So I'm assuming that maybe you're also an appointment set and a trainer because it's not providing the most income yet that you want it to be a good income. Is that correct?
I would say that everything is going very well, but the I'm doing just the two other things because I want to be safe. I want to be secured. So to
Okay.
not have like only one source of income.
Okay, got it. And if you were making enough income with your marketing agency, would you let go of the appointment setting and the personal training?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And how much would that how much would you be needing to make to be safe, secure, just kind of do that as a one, just one kind of occupation?
Yeah, so somewhere between like 10K per month consistently, it will be good.
Okay, got it. And then what are you doing right now with um how much are you making right now with the agency? Just so I have more clarity.
Mm, kind of depends. Like 1 month is like 500, another
Mhm.
month is 15K. It's not consistent.
Okay, got it. And let's just kind of go from like the past 6 months, right? Because it's just September, and then that's maybe from the beginning of the year. How many months has it been more around the 500 per month?
I would say like maybe 4.
Okay, 4 months. And then how many months was it close to the 15K?
I would say 1.
Okay,
It was because I have a lot of painfuls.
okay, got it. And then the other month, because that's 5 months, was it like still 500, 1,000, 5K?
Yeah, one time it was 1K, one time it was 2K.
Okay,
Right now it's going more towards the 15K.
okay. So let me just get a little bit clarity. So in the past 6 months, 4 months were 500.
Yeah,
1 month was 15K because you collected lots of PIFs. And
yeah,
then another month was anywhere from 1 to 2K. Is that correct?
yeah, something like that.
Okay. So kind of, and the reason I'm typing, I'm just adding up numbers in my head and making sure everything is correct. So let's see, 2.5. So if I have everything correct in the past 6 months, it's been 17.5K total. I
Why are you
have all
asking
those
that?
numbers. Just so I can know how I can help you, because obviously if I don't know what your goals are, then I can't analyze and understand, what's really going on with your business. But is that the case? 17.5K over the past 6 months, if we kind of add up all
Yeah,
those numbers?
yeah, something like that.
Okay. Um, and is that where you feel you want to be in your business with the marketing agency?
Like if I would make that per month, that would be cool.
Okay. But in the past 6 months, do you want to have another 6 months of making 17.5K, would you say? Total?
Now, of course, like I would like to have more
Okay. Why wouldn't you want to just be making the same amount over the past 6 months and the next 6 months?
because I want to buy a good car. It costs
Mhm,
like 18 grand, and by
mhm.
making 70 grand, 17 grand per 6 months. I couldn't afford that. It's not like matching my dreams.
Got it. And so basically just looking at those numbers, what do you feel like isn't working for you to be making at least 10K per month? Like, why do you feel like that's not happening right now?
To be honest, I don't know, like maybe the vacation periods, I'm doing everything good.
Okay. You say you feel like you're doing everything good?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. You made 17.5K over the past 6 months and you want to be making 10K per month. So can you provide a little bit more clarity of what's not working?
I don't know, like everything seems good.
Okay.
The process,
Well,
like, yeah.
so if everything seems good, then why aren't you making 10K per month right now then? And why have you been making 17.5K in the past 6 months? I'm just a little confused because for me the numbers don't add up, man. To be honest. And I'm just trying to say it in the most nicest way possible.
Yeah, like I think like the problem is that I don't collect that amount of cash to have it.
Can you repeat? You said Poland doesn't collect.
Yeah, I think like the problem is that I don't collect that amount of money to be making 10K. If I don't collect 8K more, then I don't make 10K, I make 2K. That is the problem, I think.
So you feel like it's more of the leads or more of the sales process?
I would say both.
Both. Okay. So the reason that you're probably not making 10K is because you probably need more leads. You probably need to collect more. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think yes.
Okay. Okay. What about the leads you feel like you need a little bit more help on?
Yeah, I think like I don't know if like 5 leads per month is that a good number?
It depends on your goals, man. You know, like if we do the math and we do the closing percentage, right? Like you probably need like maybe 50 leads per month, closing at 40% with a certain cash collection to equal your, you know, the consistent 10K per month. So I would say if your goal is 10K, probably not the best number, right? So you would probably want more leads, is what I'm hearing, more than 5 per month.
Yeah, probably yes.
Okay. Is that yes or no that you want to
Yeah,
be?
yeah.
Okay.
I would need like more leads.
Okay, got it. All right, and I usually I go to the sales and then I can resume. Okay, so basically what the problem is that you want to get more leads coming in on a consistent basis, and then you want to end up having more cash collection on your sales process so you can at least hit 10K months. And then I say correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you see how like you're blocking me, but I'm just getting like
Yeah.
information, right? You see how I'm doing that?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't really have a script. I'm just kind of just rolling through, like I'm trying to find your numbers, right? It's kind of like if you have an injury, you're an athlete and the doctor's like checking your knee and you're like, no, I don't, like you say you have like a torn ligament in
Yeah.
your knee and they're checking everything and they're like, okay, here's what's going on. And then you're trying to hide your knee. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? You're like, oh, nothing. That's just like, whoa, move your knee this way. And they're like, oh, no, I can't do that. It's like, why? What happened? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's all just about, if you're searching for the pain in their numbers, like how much they're making, in your case specifically, it's probably they're not getting enough leads, right? Then you just want to be asking the right questions to get them to say, I need more leads. So it could be like, okay, how much are you making right now? How much do you want to be making? What are you doing right now to get leads? How has that been going? You can be super like analytical and be like, okay, how many leads have you gotten the past 6 months, the past 3 months, past
Yeah,
month?
I think like in my scenario right now, from what I'm studying, the problem is not necessarily the number of leads, but in the quality of leads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. So then you say the amount of leads, how many of those people end up actually being quality leads and closing? Okay,
I
why
will
is
make
that
some notes.
yeah, you know, and you can say like, why do you feel like that's the case? I don't know. So you can say like, how many leads are coming in per month? Out of those leads, how many book calls? Out of those calls, how many end up closing? What's the quality of your leads? You know, and you start diagnosing the facts that everybody's running webinars, VSLs, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, IGDM ads, blah, 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 blah. And that your process nurtures people, right? and then you start recapping. So what I'm hearing is you're putting 2K a month into ads, you're getting 500 leads, but none of those people book calls. That's probably the problem, right? Like nobody's booking calls, or they're not quality leads. Like they don't show up, or they don't close. But so, and then, okay, are you open to me talking about how, we have a super organic system? I'm assuming you watch my YouTube video and I can go over about how it's not going to be something rapid, but if you play the long game, this will end up helping you get quality leads. And if you build a good foundation, we can go from there. That sound good? And then they end up saying, yeah, that sounds good. And then you just go through the process.
Yeah,
So,
I think like there's a really big thing, because from speaking with you right now, I wasn't digging deep enough into the numbers, logical reasons, and digging into the pains. I would like slightly go into the pain, like what's not working as well as it could be. Okay, so there is a reason why it don't work, and showing the process, and that wasn't like enough of digging into the pains and problems. And
yeah.
I oftentimes, especially in Poland, I have people in terms of goals, like, so we have someone that want to go from this to this, and they have some problems that aren't allowing them to go from this to this. And there's a cool scenario when transcribing this to US dollars. Let's say someone is making like 10K, and then they want to make 11K, like only 1K more in the next 6 months. I get this a lot.
Yeah,
And
that's a good thing. Yeah,
when
go
I
ahead.
ask for like what they think is the problem to get to that, they're saying like, yeah, I think like if I do more of this, what I'm doing currently, I would get to this in 1 month. So it's kind of like making me unable to search for the problems and everything.
Can you repeat that again? If they do this for 1 month, then they're gonna.
Yeah. So when I ask like what they have did in the past to get clients, so on and so forth, and they get me like, let's say they said me cold DMs. That was what they was getting clients through.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, so it's a mechanism that they feel like that they do more, it's just gonna do this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just showing them a different mechanism. Be like, okay, well, if there was a different mechanism or way or strategy where you don't have to put as much work, right? And you could be making 20K or 30K, is that something that you would be wanting to be making? Right? So you kind of put that objection aside. Like if that wasn't the case and there was something else that can make you doing this without putting in more work, would you be wanting to be making 15 or 20 or 30K? And I'll be like, yeah. It's like, okay. And why? Like how would that affect, like how would that blah, 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 blah,
So what you are saying, like, even if they say like they want to only make 1K more, then say like if there was another mechanism that can get you to 10K more or 20K more, so like speaking it to more. Yeah, that makes
Without
sense.
that, yeah, it would, because that's their reasoning. It's kind of like if everybody just thinks they can lose 10 pounds, and it's like, well, why don't you want to lose 20? It's like, well, everybody around me lose 10, and it's like, well, if you knew that it was possible to hit 20 with doing something else,
Yeah,
would you be open to doing this? So you just put it
yeah,
aside, that's it, because their
yeah.
brain is so fixed on that.
And I think like if I do, I had one objection of like my price of the program is 4K for 4 months, and I have here one objection that I'm thinking of if I would spend that 4K on lead formats or VSL funnel ads or Google ads, then I think like I will get better results in the short term. And I don't think like doing this with you will make sense for me.
Yeah, and I think that's where you have to get the pain in the beginning for them to separate and understand that what they're doing isn't working. Right? So if you use this process that we're using right now and you're searching for because if you write down numbers and you actually like say, okay, so imagine you saying like, okay, so you spent 10K over the past 6 months, you've gotten 500 leads and you've only booked 10 calls, right? and then you do math in your head. You go, okay, so you're spending $1,000 every book call, and then 5 of those people no show. So you're spending almost $2K for every call, right? And how many did you close? And they're like, oh, I only closed 1. And what was the price point? Oh, I gave a discount at $500 a month for 5 months. It's like, okay, do you find that something that's scary? You know, it's like very logical. It's very
Mhm.
like, okay. And sometimes what I would play around with is even going on a Google Doc and typing it down as well. In front of
And
my
do you
face.
have okay, can you allow me to show my screen?
Yeah. Let me there you go.
So I have like one thing that I'm giving my clients. Do you see my screen right now?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, so these are the numbers that people get. Now it's from all of the markets,
Mhm.
from every step to, well, from getting the follower to closing deal. And these are not very high numbers for that. And if I include like they like to get, let's say, 200K, and the average client size is, let's say, even 5K, then they would need to spend only this amount of for the ads to get this amount of cash collected.
Mhm.
And these are the numbers that we get also if they do that process. So do you think like later on showing them the numbers at the end of the call, let's say, that would help?
Yeah, I would say showing them their own numbers to bring their pain point out for the discovery process.
So like when I'm doing discovery, should I like share my screen and tell them, okay, like let's get to see the
Let's get
numbers?
yeah. So I think I think you're searching for quality of followers, like lack of quality of like no yeah, they're not good quality followers, right? So your series of questions could be something like, okay, so you're a marketing agency or blah blah blah. Okay, got it. And so what do you feel like is something that you currently need help with? And that's where you open it up, right? And they're like, oh, everything's okay. It's like, okay, no worries. Well, um, you know, what type of ads are you running or have you been running? I would say 6 months, the past 6 months. Oh, I've tried VSL, I've tried cold DMs, I've hired appointments, you know, blah blah blah. Okay, let's break that down, right? How have you been? How much money have you spent in VSL? Okay, how many book calls did you have? Okay, and how many closed calls? And you write that down. Okay, let's do the DMs. That, and then you just say, okay, so for when it looks like blah blah blah. Why do you feel like that's the case? Right? And then they're gonna be like, "Whoa, I just feel like people are nurtured." You want to search for that, you know? Oh, I just feel like they're not searched. They don't say that and be like, "Okay, but if that's the case, then you can just run more ads and just keep. Why don't you just keep testing them? You know? Because they'll say that, oh,
Yeah.
I just have to test more. Well, why don't you just keep testing more then? Well, I just feel like I want to try something else. Okay, so like, what is that something else that you're looking for? Well, I just want to make sure people come. You know, you end up getting the right response from them. Okay, so basically you spend 5K on ads, blah, 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 and you want to have more quality followers, you can book more calls. Is that correct? Yes. Boom. Then you can go a little bit into the goals, very slightly, like 2 or 3 minutes. What are the goals? And then go into the pitching of the program.
Okay, so like when I'm writing down those things, should I also share my screen with them or only like do it on my own?
Yeah, you can just do it on a Google Doc. Easy.
And
Yeah,
like
like I
share
can
the
show
screen
you.
with them or
Yeah, you can share the screen with them. I prefer sharing the screen because there's some part of your brain that analyzes it more logically when they see the number,
yeah.
you know?
I think I saw that on your YouTube playlist. Like I have been watching this and it's absolute fire.
Yeah, oh, the
Like
open wallet thing.
it was breaking that, yeah, open, like breaking down what they have, what is their
Mhm.
credit and everything.
Yeah. That's for like at the very end. But you can just do something like this where it's like, okay, so typically what I do is I like kind of going over things. So like in the past 6 months, what type of ads have you been running? You can just write it like this. Oh, VSL, cold DM. Okay, and with the VSL, how much money have you put into it? Like 5K? Okay, got it. And then how many book calls did you get? How many closed calls? Okay, you know, blah blah blah. It could be super like just open right now. And then in the future, you can have maybe something that's kind of like that spreadsheet that you have or that table, and it can be, but if your goal is to look for lack of quality followers, then you want to structure your sales process to search for that,
Yeah.
right? And it's probably more likely you want to show that they're spending money on ads and they're not booking enough calls because the quality of followers aren't there, or there's high no-show rates, or people don't have the money, or people aren't interested, right? So you want to structure your sales process to be looking for that.
Okay. And
Yeah.
basically, like, where I have end up the discovery phase, and you told about the pitch. So the pitch is basically where I show them the whole process and how it works.
Yeah. You can, and then the way you frame it is just like, okay, I'm assuming you watched my YouTube video. Oh yes, or no, I didn't. Okay, no worries. Well, it's like the solution, right? Okay, so what I'm going to just show you is a very simple organic foundation that most people don't talk about or know about, but it's something that will solve the amount of quality of people that come in, so that you don't have to have high no shows, low quality leads, blah 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 blah. And let me just, is that something you're open to? Yes. Okay, blah 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 blah, and then pitch.
Yeah, make total sense.
Yeah.
And like after I show the process, what I like to do is I ask a question like, okay, so what do you think where we should go from there? And most of the times people are asking like, well, could you tell like what basically you do? And then I'm going down and I'm they have listed things like what is included in this program.
The program. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I think it would be good to get data after you include a process like this, because the objections that you're having, it's kind of hard to understand what the real objection is if you don't have a process like this implemented. You know what I mean?
What kind
Like
of process do you mean?
like this sharing the, like, if how do I say? So like, if you didn't get enough pain or the right type of pain, then the objections that you've had in the past are hard to analyze what the real objection is
Yeah,
until you implement this type of process to discover the right type of pain, right? So
yeah,
like
that makes sense.
with this new pain process, or process to discover pain, then you'll probably get objections that might have to be like, I have to think about it, or can you go any lower, or something else that's closer to the sale.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, it'll be a different objection, because the other objections are probably so many. It's probably like 5 objections in one. Because it's like we have to get pain first, like the right pain.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And
Cool.
I think I'm like pretty good at handling the objections in Poland, but not necessarily preventing them. But what I did recently was after I dig down a lot of objections, I had like a guy that said me, I don't know if that was a small objection, that was a real like logical objection. So he told me, okay, like everything makes sense, like I can afford that. But the way that I do things is I'm not making the decisions of the calls, and I want to just think, like have a Monday, and then I will have the decision.
Yeah. That's a good easy one. So you can just say, no worries, no worries, right? So totally makes sense. I kind of like adding different layers. I like saying like, okay, well, just to let you know, we typically do have reserved spots because we always have, people who are wanting to come in, so on and so forth. So I want you to think, I mean, then I kind of go, is there anything outside of just the finances or program that you have to think about? Is there anything specific? I go, yeah, I like taking a walk, meaning like they don't have the balls to take action, whatever. So then I go, okay, well, what we typically do in scenarios like this, I want to reserve your spot. Um, how about we just start with like, and typically to reserve your spot, because I don't want you to lose your spot, we can just have a simple like $500 it's completely refundable deposit, but that way we can have a call tomorrow in the afternoon, and then you at least reserve your spot. If they don't do that, it's most likely kind of a smokescreen, because it's like, if you're okay, and I go, is there any reason why that wouldn't work for you? Oh, I just have to. Well, it's refundable, man. It's just making sure that you're at least taking action moving forward. Does that make sense? They don't do that. You kind of feel them out. You always have a follow up call scheduled, but like I like using that just to kind of see where they're at.
Yeah, I did that in the English market, and I still have one deposit for $15. Um,
Yeah, you got to
but
keep it high. If it's 4K, make it 500, because that's real action. You know?
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think like it will be. Oh, yeah, that makes sense to have a higher number because they will actually don't go so like really think
Yeah,
about it, and like
yeah.
and yeah, make it totally refundable. And what if they feel like I don't trust you, like I don't know if you would refund me or something like that.
You can just be like, look, man, if it really goes to that point, like, we can sign a contract right now that I have to refund you.
Oh yeah.
You know, it'd be like, is that something that you want? You know, because they're just trying to like BS their way out, and I can, my BS is higher than their BS. You know what I mean, right? So like
Yeah.
I've had people just be like, "Oh, I lost my wallet." I'm like, no worries, you have your phone. Yeah, it's like, you have your bank app, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, like and then it just, they just hang up because they're just BSing. I'm like, fine,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fine, but it's you want to end up getting that will spark them to say like, oh, actually, it's just a lot. Okay, so it's just a numbers thing. Like, yeah, go to the open wallet, like on my YouTube video, and then you kind of go through the process again. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, man, you got something really scalable. It's working, right? That's what's nice. You got like some leads going. I think if you just tweak the sales process to find what you want to be looking for, because when you do that, it'll make sense to them what they're doing isn't working.
yeah.
You know, and then you just do the same process. Then the objection handling will probably become easier.
Yeah, like right
Yeah,
now after launching this funnel, I have like 10 calls per
that's good.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
that will be tomorrow the really solid ones. Like they make over like 20, 30K, one
that's
company over
good.
100K per month. So that should be more solid. And now I have more knowledge about the selling process. So
Yeah, exactly. And you can use that to challenge them the objection handling process. So they're like, oh, I don't know. Like, okay, what do you mean you don't know? It's like, yeah, just like, say they're really close. They're like, yeah, just, and then you get into fear. It's like, this is the fear objection. Like, look, man, like, you've been spending 20K every month, and you've been getting like 5 book calls that pay. Like, you're losing money every month, and you tried so many things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where you can, but you only get that through the pain process and this new pain, process, discovery process.
yeah, so it's like
It's
it's kind of like if you're not making 10 grand a month, let's say that, and you're making two, then you're basically it costs you 8K to not make 10K. Is that
exactly,
what you
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, now that you're getting their pain, you can actually, now that you have new information to look for, if they're fearful to make a decision, you now have information to challenge them.
Yeah.
Right? Say you have them and they're fearful, you can be like, look, man, can I be honest? Like, yeah, you can be honest. The last fear objection is when you just go hard. Look, man, like, you've been spending 20K the past 3 months and you've only been making 5K because you don't have quality followers. Imagine you spending 50% less, even more, let's say 75% less, spending only 2 to 3K per month, waiting a little, but still making sure you can start getting quality people coming in, nurture them, and every call that you have is the right type of call that you've always been looking for. Do you still want to spend 20K per month and keep losing money, man? You're running out of money. Like, and they're gonna be like, yeah, but now you can have that information to challenge, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
When you're
And
looking for that information.
when you're doing calls and like closing deals, do you always make them to pay on the call?
I typically do. And the way I say is I go, okay, so typically our process is to make sure that on the call we'll do this, blah blah blah. And then if they say okay, I always assume the close. Meaning, okay, great. So the email I have on file is this. Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna send an invoice, objection comes up, and then I handle the objection. Right. And then I boom boom boom. I get at least a deposit, or I get like whatever,
Yeah, like I did assuming the close, also
Mhm.
the Polish leads. So I was doing like after the process and everything, and they was like, okay, so I asked the question where we should go for them, and they was like, you tell me, and I was like, okay, so once we process the payment, we'll have an onboarding call, and I like mentally onboard them,
Mhm.
and later on gave the price of investment.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, you can say like, we'll have this and that, and the total price will be this, and they'll say okay, and then you just go through the whole process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I need to find a solution in Poland to make them pay on the call, because on the English market I have Stripe, but right now I don't know. Like the
Can
one
you
time
do
that I
bank
had,
transfer?
yeah.
Yeah, do bank transfer.
But if I do bank transfer, then I don't have, then I don't really know if they have paid me.
Confirmation. Yeah, confirmation.
Okay,
Did it go
makes
through?
sense.
Cool. Can you just send a screenshot and just text me?
So like on the call or after the
Yeah,
call?
on the call. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had people like call their bank on the phone, Yeah, no worries. This will only take a couple minutes, blah blah blah. I've had people for 30 minutes call, oh, 3 times. Like because you just make it chill, right? Cool. It's typically the best ways. We kind of go through bank transfers, so on and so forth. Blah blah blah. Does that work? Great. And then you can just type on the chat. Here are the details that you can send it to. Boom.
Hey,
It's
yeah,
it's done. It's done. Okay,
yeah.
cool. Can you just send a screenshot to this number here? All right, now you're really then on board.
Yeah, makes sense. And how would you go about training and going better at sales? Like, is this something else rather than just doing sales that I could do?
I think where you're at, it's about having call reviews like this. It's reps, right? And just having call reviews of like I'll do this bi-weekly, maybe I'll change it to
Mm-hmm.
weekly because maybe people will like this call to be honest. And I'm like, oh, so like I think it's just about um what it really is, and we can do this on the next call review, is understanding the framework. Because
Yeah,
sales isn't hard when you understand the tree of the objection handling process. And what I mean by that is like where you're supposed to go next when somebody says something. If you
yeah,
understand that logic, it's like the easiest thing in the world. So that's the only thing that needs to be done is just like teaching to that, logic. But yeah, man, send me some more stuff. I would love to review it. I like what you got because it's interesting. It has like it's a market that's already sparking on the rise. It's just little tweaks, and it can be like, it can go to a really nice spot, to be honest.
yeah.
So you got something, man. Nice.
Thank you.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'll post this in the Zoom chat or the Slack chat to see if for other people watching, for you to watch as well. And then just message me if you got other questions because we've already had like a good talk,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah.
Like, I really appreciate your time. I guess
Yeah,
that
no
you have
worries.
all days of work and you have
Yeah,
time
I'm
to
busy, man.
come up
I'm
here.
getting my momentum because I've been like just so like anyways, I had like lots of offers coming at the same like right when I just talked to Neil and everything. So but yeah, man, that's why I'm here because I think more stuff like this needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
So
Like
cool,
I
man.
really want to be the best student and everything and just doing the best work that I can. And
Yeah.
if I have the opportunity like this, then I want to use 101%
That's
of
good.
this.
You have to. You should. Cool, man. Awesome, brother. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your evening, and then we'll chat soon. Okay.
Yeah, just soon.
All right,
Thank
take it
you
easy.
again.